my channel. I'm here to film another pregnancy update for you guys. Today I'm going to be going over weeks 13 through 17 in my pregnancy, and a lot of really exciting things have been happening the last couple of weeks, so I can't wait to get you all filled in. Alright, so the first thing I like to do in these updates is kind of share with you what my Pregnancy Plus app says about my pregnancy for this current week. I actually haven't read my updates for today. I am actually 17 weeks today. Mondays are my flip day. So yeah, I'm really excited. First of all, this is what baby is looking like. This is actually life size, which I think is just one of the coolest features of this app. And then let's see what they say for this week. Your baby is practicing breathing with amniotic fluid, and its chest is moving in rhythm as if breathing air. Your baby's hearing has now developed so that it can hear the sounds coming from outside the womb, which is really exciting because that means that baby can actually start hearing Miles and I talking to it, which I don't know, it's just really cute. And then finally, myelin, a protective coating of the nerves, is being produced. So that's all the exciting things happening for week 17. So as far as appointments go, I definitely had some really exciting appointments that I've gone to within these last couple of weeks. First of all was my very first appointment with my midwife, and it went very well. There was a little bit of, I don't know, I guess miscommunication, and I had been booked in as a regular OB patient instead of or as a regular GYN patient rather than an OB patient. So I had to kind of split up my first appointment between 2 days. So the first day when I went in, they did kind of the physical exam portion of the intake appointment. And we got to hear baby's heartbeat on Doppler, which actually was kind of scary because it took the midwife a good, I don't even know how long it took her, at least a minute to find the heartbeat. And it was honestly really, really scary being someone whose last pregnancy ended in a miscarriage, you know, and I found out when they couldn't find the heartbeat. And so that entire minute when she was kind of, you know, moving the little Doppler around on my tummy trying to find the baby's heartbeat, she kept finding mine, and so we'd hear a heartbeat and she'd be like, no, that's your heartbeat, that's, you know, we're still looking for baby. And I definitely started getting, you know, really scared and kind of really worried that I'm gonna have to tell everyone that you know, it was happening again. And it was a really, really hard minute. But yeah, luckily she did find baby's heartbeat. It was nice and strong. I don't know if I can remember what the heartbeat was at that appointment. Let me see if I can look it up and find out. Okay, so yeah, baby's heartbeat was at 164, so a nice strong heartbeat once we found it, which was really good. And so that's kind of all that went on in the first appointment. Then the next day we came back, like I said, and kind of got to talk to the midwife and actually ask her all the questions that we had, and make sure that I guess that her, birthing values, for lack of a better term, aligned with ours, because obviously I have, you know, certain things that I want to make sure happen during my birth if all goes as planned, like, you know, immediate skin to skin, delayed cord clamping, and just things like that. And I wanted to make sure that she would be on board with the things that were really important to me. Luckily she was. The one issue that we did have was that that practice does not allow filming during birth, which really, really bummed me out because I obviously have a daily vlogging channel, and I definitely was planning on filming my birth, you know, sharing a birth vlog, and I just wanted those memories for myself, you know, if nothing else. And so yeah, Miles and I kind of for a second thought about maybe possibly switching doctors, but honestly it wouldn't have been worth it to me because we were so aligned with everything else involved in the birth and things that actually mattered more when it came down to it than, you know, filming it. It would have been a bummer, but she did say we were allowed to take still pictures, so we're still thinking about hiring a birth photographer to be in the room during the whole time, capturing still images, because I don't want, obviously Miles is going to be, you know, with me and being my birth coach and, you know, experiencing the birth of our child, and I don't want him to like have to kind of stop that to take pictures. Whereas with video, you can kind of just set up a camera and press record and forget about it. But anyways, I was able to go back at my next appointment with her and kind of re-bring it up and ask, you know, is there any way that I can get any footage? And, you know, told her what was really important to me, which was the basically our baby's first moments, so like right after birth and, you know, meeting her for the first time. And so she clarified that as soon as the baby is out, we are allowed to start filming. So that obviously gives us a little bit to work with. I'm really excited about that. I still have to kind of figure out logically how we're gonna make that work, because again, right in the moment of, you know, the baby being born, it just kind of would be a little hectic to expect either Miles or, you know, anyone to, you know, pause and go start their, you know, camera recording. So anyways, we will have to figure that out, but I am really happy that we did find a kind of find a middle ground, and so I'm allowed to film anytime that I'm not, like, you know, in active labor and pushing. So I'm happy about that. But anyways, other than that, yeah, I just kind of asked her any questions that I had about pregnancy, and yeah, that was that first appointment. Right after that, we did go for our first ultrasound with the midwife. You guys know we've received multiple ultrasounds through the fertility clinic, but our, you know, midwife's office needed a dating ultrasound for, you know, their records. So we went and did that, and it was so much fun. It was definitely the best ultrasound we've had yet, because first of all, the baby looked like a real baby. I mean, you could really, you know, it was, you know, it looked like a real baby. And it was jumping around the entire time. The ultrasound tech actually had a really hard time nailing down a heart rate because the baby wouldn't stop moving. It was just kind of like just moving all around and, you know, kicking and just bouncing. I couldn't feel any of it yet because I actually have ultrasound pictures to show you from that day. So let's see, it would have been 12 weeks and 2 days that we went for that initial dating ultrasound. So I couldn't feel any of it, but the baby was seriously like jumping and moving the entire time. It was just the coolest thing. And so here are the pictures that we got from that ultrasound. Like I was saying, it definitely looks a heck of a lot more like, you know, a real baby now. And yeah, it was definitely my favorite ultrasound. It was just so cool to see the baby really like moving around in there. We actually do know the gender right now, and I'm going to talk about that later in this video, but I'm trying to kind of, I don't know, I guess I already shared the gender, so I could just talk about it. But anyways, I'm trying hard not to talk about the gender until I like talk about finding out the gender. Anyways, so after that dating ultrasound, we actually went back 2 days later because we opted to do a NIPT test, which is a non-invasive prenatal testing test. And basically, the test was developed to look for genetic abnormalities. However, with that, it's a blood test, so they draw your blood and then they pull out the baby's blood from within your blood somehow. And with that, you are able to find out the gender of the baby. And so we went back 2 days later because I was kind of at the end of the cusp for being able to do that test. So we just got in there right away because we really wanted to find out the gender before waiting for the anatomy scan, because I still haven't gotten that. That won't be for another like 3 weeks at this point, I think. But yeah, so with that, they also wanted to do a nuchal translucency test. So we got a sonogram for that, and everything looked good. I actually went with my mom to that appointment, which was really fun for her to kind of be able to come in and, you know, see the baby on the ultrasound. This is my parents' first grandkid, so I think she really enjoyed that. Where was I going with that? Oh, I guess I can show you pictures from that day. So that was 12 weeks and 4 days. And the baby wasn't jumping as much this time. It was definitely, I think, sleeping the whole time. The tech said, I think at that time, the baby had like 10-minute sleep-wake cycles. So definitely not as active this time, but we still got some good pictures, and yeah, it was really fun, you know, seeing the baby again. I will take as many ultrasounds as they give me. It's just always so fun seeing the baby every single time. And yeah, the baby had actually flipped. It was really funny. So if you look from the ultrasound 2 days ago, the head is on the right, and then 2 days later, the head is on the left. And so this is when the ultrasound tech was doing the ultrasound, and then after the tech was finished, the actual doctor kind of came in and just did a quick, you know, peek around. And by the time the doctor had came back, the head was back on the right, so the baby had flipped around within that, like, you know, 5 or whatever minute window. So yeah, I don't know why, that just really tickled me. Alright, so I think the next big thing that happened after actually going to the NIPT test and the nuchal translucency test, which that was totally normal. Both the tech and the doctor, I think they were looking for the space, some sort of spacing back at the spinal cord right around the neck area, and they said it looked fine. But yeah, after that we just had to wait for our NIPT test results to come back, and we had a little bit of drama with that as well. If you watched our gender reveal on this channel, then you already know, but our test results came back on a Friday, and I was under the assumption that the results would be in the voicemail that the doctor left, and so I didn't listen to the voicemail until Miles got home that evening so that we could listen to it together. And turns out they did not leave the gender in the voicemail, and so we had to wait all the way until Monday to call back and get the gender results from the doctor. And we are very, very excited to be welcoming a little baby girl. I am just thrilled to the gills. I know you're not supposed to really have a preference, but I really wanted a girl, and so I'm so excited to be having a baby girl. And then the last big event that happened in this time period is I went back in for my 16-week checkup, which was super quick and basic. They did a Doppler. I don't think she told me the heart rate. Oh, however, I am pretty sure that I felt my first kick while we were there. So, okay, so prior to that, I did forget to tell you guys, because this is more of a symptom rather than an event, but around 13 weeks, I believe, when I was going to bed one night, I felt this like rolling feeling, and I'm still not really sure whether it was the baby or not. I don't know. But it felt kind of like, you know, again, it's like if this was my uterus and this was the baby's maybe head or something like that. I think it was the head, because it felt pretty big now that I felt a kick. So I think it would have been the head, and it just kind of felt like it was like rolling like that. And so I would feel like kind of a single roll, and then it would wait like 10 seconds, and then I would feel another little roll. And that happened like 5 or 6 times. So yeah, it was super early. I looked up whether or not you can feel it that early, and you know, whether other women felt that rolling sensation, because normally you hear about kind of like flutters when you feel the first kicks. So other women definitely had felt the rolling sensation, and there were people that said that they felt things as early as 13 weeks. But again, this is my first pregnancy, so I feel like it's really unlikely that I felt it that early, and I hadn't felt anything like that since, so it could have just been gas, but I don't know. There was that experience. But then when I went for my 16-week checkup with the midwife, she was doing the Doppler and said that she could hear the kicks, and kind of, you know, told me what, you know, the kicks sounded like, and said that some women find it a lot easier to feel the kicks if they have something to kind of connect it to. So hearing the sound was, you know, kind of prompted you like, oh, that's what I'm feeling. And so I think I did feel my first kick. It felt like a little tiny like finger push kind of against the Doppler sensor. And so I don't think I would have been able to feel it without the Doppler kind of pushing down. And so I have kind of been like pushing in on my belly a little bit, just to kind of see if I can feel her rolling around in there. And I think I have been kind of feeling her roll around. I haven't felt any more kicks, but when I kind of press in, sometimes I can feel inside. Obviously, I still can't feel outside, but I think having that kind of pressure against her moving around helps me feel it. So that's been really fun. Yeah, so felt the baby kick for the first time. Still really excited and waiting to kind of just feel the random kicks, you know, not prompted, just kind of out of nowhere. That hasn't happened yet, but I'm sure that will be coming, and Miles is so excited to be able to feel it on the outside. He's really been anxious. I've been trying to get him to, like, you know, push in on my belly, but like at this point I really am the only one that's going to be able to feel it, so we'll just have to wait a little longer. And we think that I'm going to be right around the time in my pregnancy when the partner can start feeling it, right around his birthday. So I think he's really, really hoping that he feels the baby kick for his birthday. Alright, so let's talk about how I've been feeling. Thankfully, since the first trimester has ended, I have started feeling miles better. Almost right when the first trimester ended is when things really started kind of gradually improving. A lot of women say that they will, you know, that they experience that they'll just wake up one day and feel completely fine and back to normal. That wasn't really what I experienced. It was just kind of more a slow and steady gradual improvement. I think I definitely also I struggled a little bit for weeks 13 and 14 because I was still taking these prenatals. I was taking the Rainbow Light second trimester prenatals, and I had switched back to them after I started feeling better because I'm pretty sure I mentioned in my last video, but I had started taking gummy prenatals in my first trimester because I just couldn't swallow anything else. But I wanted to obviously switch back to a pill version of the prenatal because they're just better for you and they're better for absorbing all the nutrients you need. So I switched to that second trimester Rainbow Light prenatal, and I didn't realize this right away, but it was making me sick. So I was taking my prenatal at night, and then during weeks 13 and 14, almost every single night, I was throwing up. And I just kind of thought, I thought it was kind of weird because I'd feel fine all day, and then at night I would just start getting super nauseous, and then more often than not I would end up throwing up. And so, especially since I didn't have that much vomiting in my first trimester, it was really more just nausea. I would throw up here and there, like maybe once a week, once every other week, but it wasn't, anything crazy like, what had started happening, which was pretty much every night. And so eventually we did kind of figure out that it was my prenatal that was making me sick. So again, I stopped taking that as soon as we figured out that's what was making me get sick, and I switched back to the gummy. However, I still had the problem of I really wanted to take a pill form of prenatal, so when I went for my 16-week appointment with the midwife, I asked her if she could recommend any prenatal that would be easier on my stomach, and she recommended, I think it's called Nature Made. If I'm wrong, I'll put the right name across the screen, but I'm pretty sure it's Nature Made, and those prenatals have just been great for me. I love them. They're in a capsule form, so they're not the kind of like, I don't even know, they're like composite, compacted, like the Rainbow Light Prenatal 1, which I was taking until it started making me feel sick in the very beginning of my pregnancy. And it's not like those little capsules. I don't even know what I'm talking about. It basically has like a plastic coating. It's not quite a gel capsule, but it has kind of a plasticky coating is the best way I can describe it. So anyways, it's super easy to go down. It has no taste. It is really easy on my stomach. I don't feel nauseous at all after taking it. And the best part is you only have to take one. So with the trimester specific Rainbow Light prenatals, you would have to take 2 of them. And yeah, so I'm really happy that you only have to swallow one. It is pretty big, but since it is kind of that plastic coating, it's really easy to swallow. So I've been loving those and highly recommend those if you're looking for a prenatal to be easy on your stomach and easy to take. So yeah, ever since that has been figured out, I have been completely fine, haven't been getting sick, which has been excellent. I also don't really feel nauseous during the day unless I go way too long without eating. I'm pretty much eating all day long. Like, I don't ever really stop eating because I am constantly hungry. And that's kind of annoying because I just get sick of all the food that I eat, every single day. I'm kind of eating the same thing every single day because, I don't know, I have to eat so much that it's just kind of nice to know what to stock and have on hand. I've been eating a lot of granola bars. I've been eating some fruit cup, like mandarin oranges, some potatoes O'Brien every day, cereal still for breakfast. I find that's the easiest thing for me first thing in the morning. Oh, what else have I been eating? Oh, apples and caramel, which I've really been enjoying. And then I have started to eat dinner with Miles again, which is really, really exciting because for, a couple months there, I just wasn't eating meals and I wasn't eating regular food like he was. But yeah, I've been actually able to start eating dinner again, which is kind of nice. Oh my gosh, I got that horrible, horrible bloating feeling figured out too. I forget exactly when we figured this out, but first thing I started doing was I kind of switched around my diet. I took out all whole grains, any vegetables that are known. I basically went on a low FODMAP diet, and if you don't know what that is, you can Google it, but we had already been introduced to it because of Miles had a whole issue with his stomach after he got an infection, basically an infection in his stomach. I think he had, I don't know. Anyways, he knew that this specific diet was good for reducing the gas that your body produces from certain foods. So unfortunately, I have to stay away from things like, broccoli and cauliflower, which I know broccoli is just a really good vegetable and I would love to be eating that. But yeah, I've just been staying away from high FODMAP foods. And that seems to work. In addition to that, I have started taking Metamucil every day, which I really think that was the overall key. It took a couple days to kind of kick in and for my body's system to kind of really regulate to that, but I think having the additional fiber in my diet has just made all the difference, and I really pretty much don't get bloated anymore. I will kind of here and there if I eat, say for example, if I eat out or something like that. We've got burgers one night and I got a little bloated from that. And whenever I do get bloated, I just drink hot lemon water with a little bit of sugar in it, and that seems to really help at least the painful aspect of the bloating. It doesn't make it fully go away, but it definitely helps ease the extreme discomfort when it does happen. So yeah, I've got that really well managed, which I am so thankful for, because honestly, that was worse. That was way worse than the nausea. It was just so horrible. So I'm really happy we have that under control. My nose has been doing pretty good. It's still a little stuffy. It's not like normal, but it's not like stuffy. I can like breathe through it mostly throughout the day, mostly at night as well. I do have to kind of lay on a certain side and have it drain from one side to another, but being able to breathe through my nose more often than not has been excellent as well. So yeah, guys, I have been doing so much better, and I feel like you guys are probably happy to not have to listen to me complain anymore in these pregnancy updates, because I just feel like all of my symptoms so far up until this update have just been so miserable, and I feel like I've just done nothing but complain, which I don't want to do, because I am just thrilled to be pregnant. It definitely was not as easy as I wasn't expecting it to be easy, because I watch a lot of other women's pregnancy updates and journeys, and like I watch a lot of mommy channels, so I felt like I was kind of prepared for, I know all the symptoms that could pop up, and when certain things happen and Miles is like, oh, that's weird, should we call the doctor? I'm like, no, that's like completely normal. Like, I felt like I was really prepared for pregnancy. I knew what to expect, but yeah, it just still threw me through a loop. But anyways, I am really happy to be able to be sitting here and filming a positive pregnancy update with, pretty much nothing but good news to be sharing. I haven't had any additional negative symptoms. I have been feeling some exhaustion and more fatigue recently, and I think that's because Miles had said maybe last week that for the next couple of weeks the baby is going to be doubling in size and just going through another growth spurt, so I'm just going to be really tired, because obviously the baby is taking a lot of energy that it needs to grow, and so obviously I don't mind that, and fatigue is really not a super pain in the butt for me, because I do stay at home, and so if I need to take a nap in the middle of the day, I can do that. I'm able to sleep in as long as I need, which is really nice. So that's one thing that has been really nice about this pregnancy, is I have been able to give my body the rest that it needs when it needs, which I do really appreciate and I don't take for granted. But yeah, that has been going on. And I think that's really it as far as kind of symptoms and how I've been feeling. So I think I'm going to kind of wrap things up and get on into the belly shot for you guys. All right, and here is the belly at 17 weeks. Obviously, this is what it looks like with clothes on. I'm still, so I've been wearing maternity pants pretty much my entire pregnancy, just because I'm trying to get as much use out of them as I can, and with the, just discomfort and stuff that I was feeling in my first trimester, they were just so much more comfortable. I am still able to fit in non-maternity shirts. Some of them are getting a little short, but for the most part, I'm just still in non-maternity shirts and maternity pants. But yeah, this is what the belly's looking like. It definitely is starting to show, which is so exciting. I wasn't sure during my last update whether or not it was bump, but it was definitely bump, and it has just, gotten bigger from there. And yeah, so let's see, without shirt on, this is what things are looking like. There's baby girl right there, which is just, I don't know, so surreal and exciting, and it's just been so fun having a bump. I have been just loving it. Here is from the front, and then from the other side. And it definitely gets a lot bigger throughout the day as I eat more and more meals, and by the end of the day, it's, probably, I don't know, like out to there. Like I feel like I'm just huge by the end of the day, but It's just kind of midday right now, and so it's just, you know, normal little bump size. But yeah, let's see the measurement. I'm really excited about this because I haven't done any waist measurements at all since filming my last update at 12 weeks. So I'm really excited to see how much the bump has actually grown in these last couple of weeks. Okay. All right, so I forget what I was last time. Shoot, I should have looked that up. Yeah, I don't remember what I was, but obviously you can go back and rewatch my last pregnancy update, or I might put across the screen right here what it was last time at 12 weeks. But here at 17 weeks, I am almost at 34. I would say I'm at 33 3/4 right now, which I think I was somewhere around maybe 31.5 last time. I want to guess, but again, I'll have the correct number across the screen. But I think I've gone up around 2 inches, which sounds about right because my belly has definitely been growing. Oh, and I haven't actually shared my updated weight statistics for you guys, so I'm going to sit back down and I'll get into that. Alright, I'm going to try and do this really fast because my camera is blinking at me and I don't want it to die right as I'm about to finish up filming this video. So let's get my weight in here. This morning I was 121.6, so I'm actually pretty excited about that because that's the first time that my weight has actually really gone up since my last update. My weight for last week when I was 16 weeks was still down at 119.4, and it kind of stayed right around there. Let's see, at 12 weeks, at 12 weeks I was 119.2, so I think that would have been the last weight that I shared, and then I was 119, 118.8, 119.2, 119.4, and then this week I'm jumped up to 121.6, which I'm really happy about. I did check with my doctor at my 16-week appointment since I hadn't been gaining any weight at that point, and she said it was fine, not to worry about it, that I was still looking very healthy. So yeah, I wasn't worried about it, but I still am kind of happy to see that number start jumping up. Yeah, I think that's all I have to share with you guys though, so I'm going to wrap things up. Hold on, let me sit and make sure I don't have anything else that I'm forgetting to share with you. I really do think that's it, so I am going to wrap things up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. It really helps out my channel. Don't forget to subscribe down below and stay tuned on my channel because I believe the next video I'm going to get up for you guys is a baby haul. Miles and I have been going a little crazy with the shopping recently, and I have so many fun, cute baby girl and just baby things in general to show you guys. Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to give you guys you know, very first baby haul and show you guys what we have stashed up so far. So you can look forward to that, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video again, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!